welcome back to the Augustana Observer Podcast. I'm the Multimedia section editor, Jaren Smith, and I've got some guests joining me for today's episode. Why don't the two of you introduce yourselves? Why don't you go first?
Hey, I'm the new co-host at Observer. My name is Dippi Sharma, and I hope this is going to be a good podcast.
Hi, and I'm Hana. I'm Junior here.
Awesome. Really, before we kind of get the ball rolling a little bit more, wanted to ask the both of you, just hope you're having a good day so far. Having a good day so far?
Yeah.
Awesome. So with today's episode, it's about the Lunar New Year, which I understand, by my understanding, that I believe the kickoff, the start was a little bit in the past. By now, I think it happened a week ago, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Me, myself, I'm not very knowledgeable about it, but I think it's an interesting topic. So I think a good first question for me to ask you is, why is the Lunar New Year important to you?
So this is, I would say it's the most important holiday for Vietnamese and Chinese, and who celebrate it, but I believe it's Vietnamese and Chinese. It's like Christmas in the US. We have a week off, and everybody just go and meet the relatives, the friends they haven't met for a year, and we wishes them the best for the year. We come to their house and talk to them how the year has been. And so this is I would say the best time or the best holiday for Vietnamese or who celebrate this Lunar New Year to gather around and then have the best time and relax after the whole year working.
That's awesome. So kind of the feeling that I'm getting is, at least from your perspective, it has a special place in your heart, kind of from some of the traditions that also might be a part of like the Lunar New Year. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I would say Lunar New Year and our traditional games or food, it's all included in this holiday. We also have, we have a lot of traditional food and games and costumes and everything, but people will see it, like foreigners when they come to my country, or visitors when they want to travel. And if they travel during the holiday, the Lunar New Year holiday, it would be the best for them to see our traditional things, like festival, traditional market, traditional food, traditional custom, traditional games. It's all in one holiday.
So since it's so special to you, what's your favorite part about Lunar New Year?
Oh, okay. Such a good question. I have a lot of favorite parts during this holiday. Let's say the most thing will be we will get the lucky money, like all the children, or all the children. I would say I know I'm not that young to be a children anymore, but we are still considered like kids in the family. And older people will give us the lucky money in the red envelope, and they wished us the best. And when I was a child, I really liked the money inside it because I can keep the money for me, and so I just trying to hide it from my mom so that she cannot get it from me. And so I think that's the best part, that every kid's like waiting for the Lunar New Year so that they can have money to buy something for their own. Yeah.
Would the money kind of come from, like, say, multiple family members, so to speak, or kind of where does that money kind of come from, if you don't mind asking?
It's just like I would say the same as the Christmas gift for the Christmas holiday. So instead of we giving gifts for each other, we give the money, and it put in the envelope. Mm-hmm. And we actually don't care about the amount in the envelope. We just receive it as they want us to be lucky, and they wish us the best during the next year. And so I think that's just the meaning of the lucky money.
So, since you've been here, were you here for Lunar New Year or did you go back home?
Oh, I was here like 3 years for Lunar New Year, and so I haven't been home to celebrate the Lunar New Year for 3 years.
So, how did you celebrate it here?
Oh, we have the Vietnamese Student Association, and we celebrate it together by having a bond, like internal bonding. We do the same thing. We have lucky money. We eat traditional food. We play traditional game in the Lunar New Year, so that we have the sense of belonging and gathering around. It's the same feeling with being at home for Lunar New Year.
So kind of with that, with, like being able to celebrate it with other members of the Vietnamese Student Association, because you mentioned you hadn't been able to go back home for 3 years to celebrate it. Is there kind of, say, a homesickness feeling that maybe you haven't been able to celebrate with your, say, family in the last few years? Or kind of has Augustana helped lessen that homesickness, so to speak?
I would say every Lunar New Year I cried when I called my mom, because it's like they are home, they sing the fireworks, and they go to the pagoda temples together and things like that. And it's quite a little bit of homesickness, I would say. But VSA always try the best to have the Lunar New Year celebrated on the same day as in Vietnam, so that we don't feel like alone during the moment of like New Year. And so recently I feel it's less than the first year I was here, because I have my friends and we have played together.
So, do you have like New Year's resolutions in this new Lunar New Year, or is it like, do you have a different tradition to set yourself goals or anything like that?
I would say it's the same thing actually. Like every Vietnamese feel they have the same thing during the Lunar New Year, and I don't know, we always feel happy for Lunar New Year for no reason when we're here. Like, I don't know, personally, I want to tell everybody, like, oh, it's Lunar New Year, it's New Year back home. And so, yeah, I feel like it's totally fine for Vietnamese to be here during the Lunar New Year.
That's awesome. And, like, something that, it's not to the extent of Lunar New Year. Like, before coming to college, like, celebrating my birthday, like, growing up, I never... Like, as like a younger kid, it's like, yeah, I'd love to celebrate my birthday. But as I got older, like, yeah, it was like cool and all for me. It's just like, it wasn't the end all be all. But, first year of college, it was where I was like, man, I'm not with my family on my birthday. And, it was a little tough. So in a similar but yet different vein as, you not being able to celebrate the Lunar New Year with your family, I understand and I know it must be tough, but it's amazing that, Augustana has the Vietnamese Student Association, so you can celebrate with people from a similar background, such as yourself.
So, like, since you guys celebrate in Augustana, what's something that you would want other people to know about Lunar New Year?
I don't know. I would say, first of all, I want at least the Augustana community to call it Lunar New Year. Personally, I don't want people to call it Chinese New Year. And it's very famous in the US or everywhere when they call it, oh, it's Chinese New Year. And they're assuming that's only for Chinese. I would say Vietnamese too. We also celebrate Lunar New Year. And I think Singaporean or Korean, they also, I'm not sure about that, but there are like some Asian countries, they also celebrate this year. And so I hope that people can aware that it's Lunar New Year. It's not Chinese New Year, I would say. And it's very hard for foreigners to understand why it's so important to us and why we're having fun during that Lunar New Year, because it's it's how we raised back home, and like every year it's the same thing. Like kids very excited to have Lunar New Year holiday because they have school off, they don't have to have homework, and they get money. They just be home, eat, and relax. And so yeah, it's kind of Christmas, I guess. And so that's why. But yeah.
That's awesome. And another thing to think about, which like looking at Lunar New Year is like, like before, coming here like as a freshman, like I never would have imagined being able to witness and or experience like not just Lunar New Year, but other holidays important to groups of people. So what does it mean to you that, you have a space to celebrate like these things important to you?
I think it's really great that I have a group of Vietnamese people or Vietnamese community who understand my language, first of all, that we can just speak Vietnamese the whole time during the bonding. And it's also great that we have somebody here in the school during the Lunar New Year. We just walk by and be like, oh, happy Lunar New Year, and wish them the best like we did back home. And so it's great that we have somebody here to celebrate the Lunar New Year together.
So, since you've been celebrating Lunar New Year back home with your family, what's your like earliest memory of celebrating Lunar New Year?
I think I have a lot actually, because I like this holiday the most. But I would say gathering around with family when we still have we just gathering in one space, though it's really crowded because we have a lot of people, and just eat and then talk with someone I haven't met for a long time, or because we also have students, so they have to go to another city to studies, and because they're kind of same age with me, and of course I'm closer with them than the older people in my family. But they're in different cities, and I'm just be in my home city, and so that's the only time that we can actually meet each other. And so we just remember the time that we gathering, eat food. Yes, the food, that's the best memory.
I'm a huge food person, so I'd say with a lot of holidays, food is definitely my favorite part of certain holidays, which a lot of people are like, don't get me wrong, yes, family is always an important part of every holiday I celebrate, but the food serves a special place in my heart too.
Yeah, when you're gathering around with your family and then you eat your favorite food, I would say that's the best, because even we can get the food here, the traditional food here, it's not the best quality. It cannot be as my grandmom making her traditional food and bring it to families, relatives. That's the best part, that we just make something, we make food and then we share with our families. That's the best thing.
So what's your favorite Vietnamese food for Lunar New Year?
Oh, I have a lot actually. I have a lot. I really like one. I really don't know how they called it here. It's some kind of ground pork, and then you make it like a roll. Really don't know how I can call it here.
How would you say it in Vietnamese, if you know?
It's called chả giò, and we eat it with our traditional cake. It's called chưng cake during the Lunar New Year. So we eat chưng cake and we eat chả giò at the same time. It's very good combination, and I like also during the Lunar New Year. I like eating egg rolls too. I like eating the soup my grandmom make every Lunar New Year. She made it with broccoli, sometimes with bamboo, with duck, and she has some kind of mushroom in there. Oh my god, you have to eat it when it's just finished. It's like hot and it smells very good.
It sounds amazing. I'm starting to get a little hungry thinking about
I
it.
am right now.
Are there any like restaurants nearby campus that you go for Vietnamese food, or is there like a place here anywhere that would go?
Yeah, we have some restaurant near here that they have Vietnamese food, and I would say Miss Faye Cafe is one of them. The Pho Fusion and Bar, it's my favorite recently, and California Pho. But there's only one thing I feel that they should improve or added in their menu is a kind of noodles from my city. And so my city is like a small city near the capital, and people here, they made only food like famous food, some kind of favorite famous noodles here like pho and bún bò Huế, I guess. Yeah, they know about that a lot here, and even American knows about it. But there's one more kind of noodles, guys, from my city. It's called bánh đa cua. It's the best thing in the world. It's the best thing, and they don't have it in American.
You heard it here first. The
Yes.
best thing in the world.
It's the best thing in the world. I would say I think in the future, if I cannot get a job here, I will trying to go for an investment that I can build a restaurant just for that noodle. Guys, I told you, if you have a chance to come to Vietnam, it's not only Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, guys. They have my city too. It's called Hai Phong City. It's the best thing. We have the best seafood. We have the best food. People come there for the food travel. They have food tour. I can guide you guys, bro.
That sounds awesome. And, if I ever have the chance to travel, definitely go and keep you in mind. And also with you, essentially you with opening a restaurant, I would definitely be a customer.
I actually have been to Vietnam before.
Really?
Yes, it was like a lot of years ago, but I did go. And the best part for me was the local markets and the local food, because we preferred going to like the local market, having like actual Vietnamese food rather than going to restaurants. And then another was like boat rides with those like hats, like the bamboo hats and everything. It was so much fun.
I know. I don't know. People come to my country for travel a lot because we have a lot of beach, we have mountains, and the natural mother gave us a lot of things to travel, and food is also one of that. And I think every city, they have their own signature food, and you have to ask the local, and you stay with them, and you will find even every city have different culture. Like I'm the only Hai Phong City citizen here, and I have friends from mostly the capital city. And so sometimes during our time living together, we find that we have some kind different lifestyle or different way to cook one thing, because that's how we were raised in different city. And so, that's the best.
That's awesome. Me personally, I've asked all the questions that I had, and I feel like I learned a lot, which I really appreciate. Did you have any other things that you were curious about?
I would just ask, what's your favorite thing about Lunar New Year?
School off. That's my answer, because no more school, no more homework, and you have a whole week just get dressed every time, be beautiful, come to others' house, wish them the best, and talk to them, get lucky money, and just talk, and just relax, eat. Yes, I think school off is my favorite things.
School off is always a great time. But really, I just wanted to thank you so much for your time. I know we both really, really appreciate it. And I definitely going to be thinking about some of the food you talked about because it sounded amazing.
Yeah. If you want to try, you can go to Pho Fusion and Bar. They should book me to promote their restaurant. Anyway, so like their food there it's really authentic, and I don't know, they made it's suitable with my taste, and I feel it's enough portion for me to eat too. And the restaurant is very nice. The vibe is like, I don't know, it looks like a luxury restaurant, but you eat Vietnamese food. Also, they have Asian food too. It's not only Vietnamese, because I try Vietnamese food every time. That's why I say so. But yes, it's very good. You should try.
I understand, and I'll definitely keep that in mind. And one more time, I just wanted to thank you for your time, and I really appreciated getting to talk and learn more about Lunar New Year. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I'm fine.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. We both really, really appreciate it.